So this year has been a really good year for movies, at least for me. I really enjoy going to the movie theater. I found out I've done it a lot before this year, but this year I actually have real adult money, which is really fun to have. And a lot of that has definitely gone to my local movie theater this year. And there's just something about sitting in a movie theater for 2.5 to 3 hours, right? And just watching the screen and only focusing on one thing rather than getting distracted by all these other little things in life, right? And that's kind of what I want to talk about today is just the joy of going to see a movie and why I think it's actually a really good form. Oh, well, I can't say really good form of screen time, but of all the screen times, I think watching a movie, especially in the movie theater, is the best way to have your screen time, your daily allotted screen time of what did our doctors say when we were kids, like 2 hours max? Yeah, right, buddy. But you've probably seen that this year is one of the bigger years for movies since before 2020 when all the pandemic. And I feel like movies this year don't feel as sloppy as some of the more recent years, right? What comes to mind for me at least is a lot of the MCU movies, right? Just the CGI slop fest that those movies have been compared to something like, say, The Odyssey, which has a pretty big budget, but those other movies also have big budgets, and The Odyssey looks really good compared to some of those, and that was a really good movie. And movies like The Back Rooms, which is kind of original, I guess it's like a creepypasta or something, right? That this guy made into his own version of The Back Rooms. I really enjoyed that movie. I pre-ordered that on disc, so when that comes out, I'll add that to my physical media collection because I'm a cool guy like that. Project Hail Mary, that was another banger that I watched this year. And I haven't read the book yet. I have the book now. I'm going to try to read that before, I don't know, before winter, if I ever get around to reading, right? Who reads these days, though? I just scroll reels. I appreciate this year there's a lot less sequel movies coming out, right? I mean, there's still some. I mean, there's a lot of sequel movies, but, the big heavy hitters, the Project Hail Mary, The Odyssey, Backrooms, Obsession, those are all, I guess I can't say original movies, but they're not sequels. But like I was saying, what I like about movie theaters is that they get me off my phone for 2 hours at a time or more, right? And unless you're a jerk, you don't pull out your phone during the movies. And you can kind of just focus all your attention onto one thing. Just on the big screen, you're in a dark room, everybody else should be being quiet, and you're all just watching one thing together, and you're just thinking about that one thing, which is what's happening on the screen. You're not thinking about, maybe I should check my Gmail right now. Oh, let's see what's on Instagram. Let's see what my favorite YouTubers posted. All right, let's close Instagram. Let's open it back up again because I kind of forgot that I was already on Instagram. Let's go see what's happening on Twitter. I don't really open Twitter. That's a nightmare in there. But it's nice to just have one thing to focus on versus a million different things. Another cool thing about the sitting in the movie theater, watching that screen versus your phone screen, I feel like I'm actually experiencing those 2 hours rather than wondering where they went, right? When I open up my phone, I just wonder, wait, what have I been doing for the last hour? I don't even remember anything I just saw. I sent a couple of reels to my buddies, but I don't know what happened these last hour or so. It's just gone forever into the abyss. And that's like an hour of my life that I'll never get back and was spent watching slop on reels. And reels have been pretty enslopified. There's some good stuff on there too, though. We'll talk about reels at a later time. But yeah, it just sucks away the life, right? It's just the life sucker. Like I was saying, you experience the movies for those 2 hours. It gets you thinking about the movie. I like to look at how movies were made sometimes, if the movie was really good. And sometimes you look at a bad movie, and yes, you still have to experience those 2 hours of a bad movie, and it can still feel like a waste of your time, but you're actually experiencing that waste of time rather than wondering where that waste of time went, right? You start thinking like, wow, this movie almost could have been good if the director or the studio or whatever didn't get their hands in this and just mess things up, make it corporatized and slopify it to try to reach a bigger audience, try to please everybody. But you get you thinking about those things, right? Recently, I watched Spider-Man 3 at home, the one from like 2007, the classic Tobey Maguire ones. And that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. At least I think it was. I mean, I had all three of them on DVD, and I had all the cool toys. You know, I had the Black Spider-Man suit toy. I had the Sandman with the changeable hands. I really liked that movie as a kid. But I watched it again recently, and I haven't watched it since I was a kid. And I was actually surprised at how unwell it held up. Right? The CGI in some of those scenes were so bad, especially the Harry Osborn flying scenes. That was gross. Some of those were pretty gross. Some of them were okay, but some of them were gross. And there was just too much going on. It was like the studio just wanted to throw all these characters in there to be like, oh my gosh, here's Venom. Oh my gosh, here's Sandman. Let's retcon this, so I guess it makes sense why he's fighting Sandman now. Because now the Sandman killed his uncle instead of the other guy, so let's just add him in. And it got me thinking, like, this movie almost could have been good if they just chose one villain, or maybe even two villains, two plot points versus, like, 4 plot points. And then they did the same thing again, which is go save MJ because she's about to fall off a building, right? Nobody wants to see MJ fall off a building again. Give me something different. And that's, I guess, in the new Spider-Man movie, MJ did fall off a building, right? Spoiler alert. But it wasn't quite the same idea, though. It wasn't, oh no, she got kidnapped and now Spider-Man has to go save her and beat up somebody again. It was more of a little mental kidnapping, I guess, right? Because she doesn't remember who he is in Brand New Day. But yeah, Brand New Day is definitely better than Spider-Man 3 from 2007, I'll say. Yeah, so mostly I just appreciate going to the movies to get away from my phone screen time and spend the screen time on a bigger screen, right? Get to see all these crazy things happen on the big screen instead of my little one that I have in my pocket all the time. Go to the movie theaters. It's a good time. Way better than being at home on your phone. If you can afford it. Luckily enough for me, my movie tickets only cost about $11 at most. Sometimes we still have a $5 Tuesdays, really more like $5.75 Tuesdays, but a little cheaper. Get the popcorn. Popcorn's part of the experience. And go out with friends, go by yourself even. Go to the movies by yourself is a really good time. I watched Fantastic Four last year by myself, and it was okay. It was an okay movie. But yeah, get off your phone, go do something else outside, and welcome to my new channel, This is I've never made YouTube video before, at least not like this. And I'm kind of just going to ramble over gameplay, just another gameplay rambler channel. But, sometimes you just got to start something. At least make it, and then make it good later, right? So, thanks for listening, if you did. And have a good rest of your day. Go watch a movie. Let me know what you're watching. Bye.